Hi YouTube, and welcome to part 2 of my butterfly themed pocket letter, let's say tutorial. I'm not sure if you can call it tutorial. I'm just doing my thing. I don't know. However, I need a white card and I took this one again, because you know, it's packaging. However, and I forgot that I will need the same thing once again. So I die cut my butterfly onto it. Oh no, I don't. Actually, I don't. I should have done it on the smaller card, but this doesn't matter. I can just cut this one smaller. So it's all good. I'm just gonna take out this butterfly here and keep it. I'm not sure, I might need a white one. So I'm not gonna throw something away which is done for me already, so it's a die cut. I will just keep it here for now. So now I will go ahead and cut this down just a little bit, because the butterfly is almost as big as my card. I cannot cut much more. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut a little bit off. Yes, this one I want to be just a tiny bit smaller than the one underneath. And I also need a piece of paper, some color you like. So I like the purple, so I want to go with the purple, and I will stick it in the back of this small one, just as much as I need for my butterfly, like this. So I basically have a purple butterfly now in the back. Now I have this twine from Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna just wrap it around this one card. I want it to go around there for 2 times. Let's see, long enough. And I will tie it on the side right here. So a nice little bow here. I will cut off the excess. So just like that. You have to like pull your bow until you get where you want to be. Because for me, tying bows is always, it takes the longest. I don't know. One of those days somebody got to teach me how to tie a perfect bow. And like with the other butterfly, I'm gonna be using a couple pearls. And I do have one left over here from the other butterfly, and then I'll put 2 more on there. And I'm done. So this is how it looks like. Very fast and easy. Minimum supplies. You don't need pearls. You can, I don't know, use them from the Dollar Tree or another piece of paper. You can even use, like, you know, you get, I don't know, junk mail has nice pieces of paper in it. From any advertisement, there's, I don't know, a purple background. You could just cut out a piece of that. So go with any twine you want. And you can cut out your own butterfly also. So that's not very hard. Been there, done that. I've cut out my butterflies, my, I don't know, everything and anything. I cut out teapots, flowers, and I couldn't even draw, and I did draw it myself. So I didn't care. I gave my best, and then there I was. So this is how it looks like for now. This card is ready. So off to the next card, and we will need, I will need the pink piece of paper. You can take whichever you want, and I have a piece of packaging. This was stickers, by the way. It's always funny for me to see what it was once. So this I will cut into the card size. I might even have one cut already, because I cut all of them, so should be even here. Oh yeah, I even do. So I have one in card size already, so I don't have to cut the big one. And the other one, I will just go ahead, use my die and make like a wave. You can just cut the wave, you know, so could I, but I want to use my stuff. So it looks like this, and I used my die from the wish shop. They came in this different wave wave shapes, and they also do like stitching on top, so I like that. And now I just want to see which part of the wave I want to use, so I will see later. Now I want to go there and try, and I hope that I can do it good. This is like my smallest hole punch, so I don't have a bigger one, and I want to punch holes in here, and I want to try and keep them like as, you know, in the same, I can't work and talk. I want to try and keep them like in a little bit of a wave too, and try to go as far as from the previous one, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure how to explain that. I'm obviously not going to use this part, but I figured it already. So like this, you know, when you put it down, you can see the paper underneath. It's just fun, I guess. So now from the same paper I got right here, I'm gonna be punching a butterfly, and I want to punch one and a die cut one because this one is a little smaller than my die, and I want it to be a little smaller, so it stays on here. Let me see. Yeah, now I will just stick the paper like I want it to be, and I cut off the excess. This is just the easiest way for me to cut everything straight. So just like that, and then I want to put my butterfly right here, and once again I will just stick it with the bottom part, I think, or maybe a little bit more than the bottom part, but not the whole thing. I know it's in the pocket letter, so it does not really matter, but I want those wings to be a little bit up. And I've never used any enamel dots before, so I just want to try and put 3 of them. Right here, and I think it looks pretty, so I'm going to leave it like that. I love it. And once again, very quick and easy. So this will be my next card, and I'm like, look, I'm moving forward. So the next card is a little bit more complicated, but it's really just a little bit because it's measurements, and I'm not really good with measurements. So I want a piece of paper, white piece of paper, and I want this card to fold. I'll show you. So I scored it already. So this is how I want it to fold. So I took 7.5. It's a little bit too long. It was 7.5 and a little bit, so I will cut this off. It's not a problem, but it's 7.5 inches. It's hard. Inches are so hard. So I went ahead and I scored it, so I have the card size in the middle, which is 3.5 by 2.5, and I have 2.5 right here, so I scored it at, Jesus, 1.25, I guess. I'm not sure how you say that. So it's the middle from 2.5. I would call it 1.25 inch. I scored it there. I scored it by 2.5, and then by 5, by 6.25, and it's 7.5 long. So basically I have 3 times 2.5, as you can see, and then the outer parts I scored in the middle, so I can make a card like this. And I will just go ahead and cut off the excess before I forget it. Now I want to try, I never did this before and I'm not sure how it's supposed to work because I want to do it with my die. And it's supposed to be a butterfly on this outer flaps. So once you close it, this part, I want a butterfly to be on here. So I want to try, and I'm not sure right now what the best way is to do that. Because normally you would just draw a shape of a butterfly like half here and cut it out. But I was wondering if it's possible to die cut this part. So what if I like just die cut this part? I will just try in my big kick and I will see what happens. If not, I will have to make a new one. So I think it kind of worked. I mean, I'm happy with the result. I have a butterfly right here. So I didn't know how to do that and I tried to figure it out. So I just put my butterfly like this on here. The middle was where the flap is. And I put it onto my plate. So let me show you the broken plate. However, I put it onto my plate right here. So when it cut, it only cut this part. It did not cut the other part. So this is how it worked. I had to be very, very, very careful though, because yeah, I didn't want to cut it somewhere else. And now I'm thinking, let me take this out here. So I have to cut off the little pieces because they didn't die cut all the way, since I didn't want this to die cut all the way, but it is okay. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just cut the big piece, this whole flap off, and just keep the butterfly on there. When I close the card, I have the butterfly on my card. So this will be the card where I will put my letter in, but I also want like this part to have a little bit of color on it. So what I'm gonna do is I will cut a piece of paper in that size and I will stick it on top. So I will just use my tape runner and stick it on top of the flap. And I have a little piece sticking out of the white paper, and this is just perfect. See that? Oh man, it's early morning in California and we have, I think, like 80 degrees already, and I have lamps on here to make it more brighter, and it's just so hot. I have no idea how I'm gonna make videos in the summertime, I must say, because I'm gonna be like dying here, and I don't know, running the AC. It's gonna be, because the lamps, like, they take a lot of energy. My AC will take a lot of energy. I don't know how am I supposed to pay all that, but I'll figure something out. Maybe I put like ice pack on my head. So, however, this is how it looks like now. So when I open it, there can be the message which goes in there. And I want the butterfly be a little bit different. So I will just tickle it a little bit, just so it's a little shiny, I guess. I don't know. It's just, I wanted to have a touch of color. You can use Dollar Tree glue. It's not like the, I figured out, this is my first time I got this stickle, so I never used them before. and I use Dollar Tree glue. So the stickles are just a little more, like you can see them a little more when they dry. The Dollar Tree, what is it? Oh my God, glitter glue. You know, guys, I cannot work and talk. Do you have the same problem? I'm concentrating so hard on what I'm doing that it's hard for me to talk, which is a good thing, I guess, sometimes. However, the Dollar Tree glitter glue has the same effect. It's just a little less visible once it's dry. So I stickled it now. And yes, I see now that the wings are a little bit off, if you can see just in the center. But this is not a problem because I'm going to be using some twine later on when my stickles has dried, and I will just make a little bow right here in the middle, so the middle won't be visible that much. It's just a tiny bit off, so I'm not gonna make another one. It was really hard, but it really is just a tiny bit, so I don't think it's gonna be visible a lot. And I will let it dry now. So this was card number 5. I think we can just go ahead and make the card number 6. And I will be using this one, leftover butterfly, which I had before when I was, I don't even remember which card that was. I think the very first card. So I kept the butterfly. And it is cut from packaging, but this does not really matter because I'm going to stick it onto a piece of paper. And I will be using this one. I will stick it on here and then I will fussy cut it so the paper is shining through the holes here. That's gonna be like a hard job, but that's okay. First of all, to stick it on there, it's gonna be hard already because it's just very fine lines everywhere, but I think I'll manage somehow. I'll cut off the paper and I will just use the normal school glue. I always use the school glue if it's like paper on paper, because that seems to work. And you know, if it's if it's thinner than my tape runner, because everything that's big enough for my tape runner is so much easier to stick down. I don't have to wait until it dries. So as always, this goes under my mat so it stays flat, because this one has to dry anyways. And I love using the stuff I got. I really want to put a pearl or two like on the side of it. You know, I'm not sure how many I want to use right now. So I hope you can see it. I put a pearl on each of the big swirls on the paper. So I will have to leave it to dry now for the whole day, but it's so hot here. I guess it's gonna be dry very soon. Can you see that? When they dry, they will be even prettier. It's like little pearls. It's like the pearls you can buy and stick on them, but with those it's just go ahead and put them anywhere you want, you know. So this is gonna be drying now. So I fussy cut my butterfly right here, and this is how it looks like. You know, just the blue is kind of looking through. And now I want to use cardstock for the back of a card and some white cardstock like in the front, so only a tiny bit of the cardstock will be visible. And I'm doing this because I have this card here and it has cardstock, so I want, you know, it all like come together at the end. So I want cardstock to be visible from this card, so there is cardstock somewhere else on the cards. Now I also die cut a couple leaves with the die I showed you from the Wish app. And I want the leaves to go here onto the card. I'm just trying to figure out the position I want it to go. And my butterfly will go right on top here. One of those days I'm gonna like kill my cam. This is not even my cam. I'm still waiting for mine to be repaired. But it's like, it just turned off. So, you know, they do what they want to do. However, I just stuck the butterfly on top of it. Like that. At least I didn't do much more. So, and I punched a couple flowers from this glitter paper I had left over from the butterfly right here. And I want to use them. It's just a couple. I'm not gonna do like a lot. Just to give it a little bit of color right here. And just like that. I will just stick them down right there. So it has a couple flowers. And just because I can, and because I will have to let it dry anyways, I will put some accents on it. And glossy accent for the butterfly. I want to fill out the spots inside. It makes it look like you're, I don't know, you're looking through magnifying glass, I guess. If it's tiny spots, it's very easy to do it just like that. I never used it before, so, you know, I might be doing it wrong. That's my first time buying glossy accent. I tried it out, of course, in something, I don't even remember what it was. And I thought it looked pretty. So I just want to try. If I buy things, like, I like to spend my budget on something new. You know, so I can try something. And if I don't need like essentials for my crafting, I will go there and I will buy something I've never tried before and try it out. Because you never know, you might love something but you never bought it before, so you don't even know you will be loving it so much. And you don't know like what possibilities there are to do something. So I don't think the cam is gonna pick it up yet, but I will show you once it's dry. It's just like a little bit, you can see the gloss, I guess, in there, and those enamel dots right here. And I will put it aside just next to the other card so it can dry. So I always say so for some reason, because I start something else and I don't know that, you know, I don't think about that it's gonna be cut. Okay, no talking. I did some grocery shopping in my room. I really feel like I'm grocery shopping. So this is for my card I want to make. I told you I'm gonna put it all in one basket, so I have everything here. And then I have two pieces, cardstock in white, and one is a little bit shorter than the other, and I will just stick it down. So just like this. And this time I want to stamp something. It's just, you know, I want to do different things on my, why do I have like stamps if I never use the stamps, you know what I mean? So I want to be stamping a mason jar, a small mason jar. You can cut it out, you can draw it yourself. You know, by the way, I left it right here just for you to show. So I didn't always have a stamp or dice, but I like mason jars. So I drew myself a mason jar. This is what I drew, and I fussy cut it, and then I will just use it, or I would just use it as my template. So what I'm telling you is true, that, you know, that I did this before. I also made like a lid for that, you know, if I want it in another color or something like this. I know it doesn't look perfect, but this was the best thing I could do because I didn't have a die or a stamp. And this is what I did before I got it. So it is possible. And it still looks good, I assume. Well, you can just print one also. I got this one set. It's from Recollections, and I had a coupon, and I think I got maybe 2 sets or 3 sets of stamps with the coupon at Michael's and Joanne. And the rest I got with my Wish app. I don't have a lot of stamps, but you know, I decided I want to use my stamps because I want to use my stuff, as I said, and I want to stamp it like almost on the very bottom. I also want my, because I want to use different things, right? I bought this lace at Daiso, and I will put it down there too, so I need to see where I want to stamp. So it's gonna be like around here. Let's try and do it in the middle. So I have a little mason jar right here, and I always clean them with my wet ones. I just take a piece out and I cut it off. I never use the whole thing because it's way too big for one stamp, and then I will just let it dry for a little bit. So this one is stamped, and I have my AC running and it feels so good. I really love it. So now I want to put the lace on the bottom already, you know, so it's not in my way anymore. I just want to use different things. I don't know. This was from, I think this one was from Daiso, I'm pretty sure. But you know, once I unpack them, I might forget. I don't want to touch my stamp yet, or the image, because I'm not sure if it's dry, and if it's not, I don't want to be touching it, right? So it's not like too much product on this. You can see it's maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 times around the roll. But it's okay, I'm not using it a lot, and I wanted to try. Maybe you can get it like cheaper somewhere. And now my bag with all the mini things I punched, and I was just about to get my butterfly punch and a couple leftover papers to punch a couple butterflies, and then I remembered and was like, hey, I do have like a ton of all the different colors of butterflies in my baggie, so maybe I will just go there and find a couple butterflies in there, which I did, as you can see. So I will just pick a couple butterflies and all the different colors here. I like the pink, just because I really used all of my papers for that, all of the leftovers. I will see if this is gonna be enough, but I think so. All I need is just a couple of them, actually. So I want a couple of the butterflies to be in the jar. So I will go like this and just see how I want them to go in there. They are so tiny. I'm going to put one of them like sidewards. So I just folded it in half and I put it down there. And then I want a couple of them to be out. So they are like flying wherever. And I do want different colors to be on there. It's really hard to hold them because they are so tiny, and when I fold them in two, it's even harder. So I will put two of them like here. They will be sitting right here on the bottom, and the rest I will just glue right there. Now I will use my pen and I will kind of, you know, make this faux stitching going into the jar. So it's not going to be a lot. And I did not even realize that I will have all of the colors from my butterflies as a pen, which is cool. And I'm done. So they are kind of, see, I added a little bit something on there. I think it's cute. So, and it was not too much work. So now I have to let this one dry a little bit also. So I'm not going to put them in there now because they are still drying. And they will be drying until the evening, I'm sure. So those are the cards. And here's some more. I think my pocket letters are always looking like this clean. I don't know. They are never very, I can't even say. I get pocket letters sometimes. There's a lot going on and I love it. I'm not a person who can do it, I guess. Mine are always straight and clean. I don't know. Maybe I should try something different. I don't know. I just always end up doing that. So this is 3 more, and I think I will stop here and do another part later because I don't want the videos to get too long. You know, you always have to like cut them down and upload, and it takes a lot of time, and I have to catch up on things. You know, the other day I forgot to close my baggie and all of my pink seed beads, they just fell out. Now I'm still finding some everywhere and I'm putting them in one corner. So however, that was besides the point. So I will make another video and hopefully finish up everything and then send it off. This one will go to Mary Bell, so I hope she likes it. I love it. I had so much fun for now, and I know I can still make a couple more, so I'm like very excited. Well, as always, follow me on Instagram and Facebook and comment down below, subscribe, give me a thumbs up if you like the videos, so I will continue make some, and have a great day. Bye bye.